Okay, so we're going to get started. The first thing I want to talk about is what your role is as the Canvas Parent Support Representative. Your role is basically to provide basic level support to the parents. So what that entitles is taking phone calls if the parent calls the campus and asks some questions about Canvas, to return phone calls if you can't take phone calls during the school day, to return them at the end of the day. Um, and also to serve as the email contact for the campus. So if parents send in some email requests, they can come to you, and you can help respond to those requests or questions. Another thing to make sure of is that the staff on your campus knows that this is your role to support the parents, so that if parents contact, they can direct them to you. And what is considered basic level support for the parents? So the first thing that you'll guide parents to is our online resources for them for Canvas. Usually just by sending them to this site, that usually takes care of a lot of the questions. So shortly, I'm going to be showing you what resources are on this site, but basically if they go to the district's website, www.lcisd.org, and on the right side, if they click on Canvas, on this big Canvas button that you see in the screenshot right there, it'll take them to a Canvas information page with some video tutorials on there for both parents and students and some additional information. So we'll go over that page shortly, but most of the time they don't even know that page is there or they've missed it. So it's a very helpful resource to them. Another thing that's considered basic level support is for you as the Canvas Parent Support Representatives to have a basic knowledge of what Canvas is and what parents are able to see in Canvas. So most of us now, because we're going through this rollout for Canvas, have a basic knowledge that Canvas is our learning management system, and it's a place where teachers can facilitate some online learning experiences for the students, but they can also use Canvas as a communication tool to communicate with parents and the students. In regards to what the parents can see on their side of Canvas, I'm going to take you in live as an example parent to show you what it is that they see. It's very similar to what teachers see and what students see. Another thing that's considered basic support that you would be able to help them with is how to log into their account if the online materials on that Canvas information page aren't helping them. So just walking them through that, I'm going to walk you through what it is so that you'll be able to help the parents log into their accounts. And the last thing that would be considered basic support would be to guide parents to the forgot password link. This is in relation to the parents logging into Canvas for the first time. The initial time that they log in, they have to click on Forgot Password, put in their Skyward Family Access email address, and it'll ask them to set their own password and choose a new password, and then they'll be able to use that to log in. So I'm going to walk through that whole process. So those are the things that are considered basic level support. If parents have questions beyond what I'm going to show you today, again, feel free to reach out to me and I can work with you to help the parent with any questions that they may have. Okay, what is not considered basic support? So you shouldn't have to explain to the parents how to do what might be called class-specific activities. So if teachers have a specific assignment and students or parents are confused about what the students should be doing for the assignment, those are things, questions that you should redirect the parent to contact the teacher about. So you don't have to be up to date on knowing what all the teachers are doing in Canvas itself. What is also not considered basic support would be not offering teacher support on how to do things in Canvas. Teachers are receiving at the elementary level some training this year, and both at the elementary and secondary level, they have the support of the digital learning coach to help them with some of those training type questions. They can also contact Canvas support, and the Canvas support representatives can help them as well as access the Canvas guide. So providing teachers training support on Canvas, is not something that's part of your role as the parent support representative unless you are also what's called the Canvas director for your campus. In that case, if you're pretty familiar with Canvas, you can help them out. And what is also not considered basic support would be not having to answer what might be called the equality question, which you might hear from some parents questions like, why does my son's ELA and science teacher use Canvas this way and the math teacher does not? I just saw your question, Stacy, so I'm going to pause for a second. Yes, I will send this PowerPoint presentation to you along with a recorded version of this webinar. So you'll have all the materials you need. So you don't need to take pictures. Good question. Okay, back to this question. If parents ask questions about why certain teachers are using Canvas in certain ways and not others, you could give a safe response like, not all teachers are necessarily using Canvas the same way. If you have a specific question, I would check with your student's teacher, or I can direct you to our campus principal. So at the secondary level, teachers are getting more comfortable using Canvas, so I'm seeing them using it more this year. At the elementary level, they're still just learning the features, so it's very reasonable to let parents know that the teachers are still learning their way around Canvas and they're going to be using it in different ways depending on their comfort level at the time. All right, so any questions about your role and what type of support you'll be providing before we go on? Okay, great. Okay, so in this next section, I'm going to go over how you can guide parents to access the online support materials. So I'm just going to escape out of my presentation for a moment, and I'm going to pull over the district website. So I just went to www.lcisd.org. So on the district website, on the right side of the screen, you'll see the Canvas button. So parents can just click on that, and it takes them to a Canvas parent information page with a very brief description about Canvas at the top. There is a button here that says log into Canvas that they can click on, and it will take them to Canvas. It takes them basically to that same URL we go to, which is canvas.lcisd.org, to log into our Canvas instance, but you can always guide them to log in by clicking on this button. And then underneath that, we have a series of 4 parent videos that they can watch. The first one is the one they all want to know about, which is how to log into Canvas in the initial login period. So this would be a good video to point them to. But they can also watch a parent overview, which goes over the interface and how to navigate around the interface in Canvas. If they're interested in downloading the parent app, we have a brief video that goes over some of the basics of the parent app. We also have links at the bottom that would allow them to download the parent app on their device, depending on if they have an Apple device or an Android device. And then we have a video on parent notifications, which show parents how they can adjust their notification settings in Canvas. So these are 4 very helpful videos to help parents get started and navigate through Canvas. I'm going to show you basically a lot of these besides the parent app. That's the only thing I'm not going to be showing during the webinar. The parent app has recently, probably in the past 3 weeks, updated to a new version. So if parents are having difficulty with the parent app, you might want to ask them if they've recently updated it. The parent app, again, is a very limited version of Canvas. So there's not all the features that they would receive if they went to the actual website. So just keep that in mind. At the bottom of the screen, we also have some Canvas student information, so 2 very basic videos to help students get started with Canvas if they're not familiar with it, a little overview and something to show students how they can adjust their notification settings. Okay, so this Canvas information page, usually when you point this out to parents, they're like, oh, I didn't know it was there. Although we have a parent letter that we've sent to the campus principals through the principal email, that they could send home with the parents, with the students for the parents. So we have a parent letter in English and Spanish. When I send you the follow-up email today with the webinar information and the presentation I'm using, I'll also attach the parent letters in case your campus has not yet sent them out and you want to send them out. But the parent letter basically gives parents information about what Canvas is, and it shows them how to get to this page so that they can access the videos. All right, so those are the online resources that we have. Any questions about that? Okay, I don't see any questions coming in. I hope you're still here. Okay, great. Just making sure. All right. The next section that I want to talk about is how parents can log into their parent account. So I'm going to show you how they would log in the initial time and then the following times, basically. So I'm going to escape out of this. And what I'm going to do is come back to that page we were just on. Okay, so I'm going to pretend I'm a parent. I've come to this page now. I'm going to click log into Canvas, which basically goes to canvas.lcisd.org. And let me log out. I forgot to log out of my instance. Okay, so when parents get there, this is the screen they're going to see. The first time they access Canvas, they have to click on Forgot Password because they currently do not have a password assigned to them. Every time after that, then they can come back and put in their username and the chosen password that they pick. So the initial time they come to the screen, they click on Forgot Password, they're going to type their Skyward Family Access email address here. So whatever email address they signed up for in Skyward Family Access is the email address they need to type in here. They type that in, and then they click on this button that says Request Password, and then they'll get a notification at the top that says password confirmation was sent to that address. Please check your spam box if they don't find it. So what that's going to look like, I'm going to pull up my account real quickly to show you what the email looks like. Give me just 1 minute. I forgot to pull this up. Okay, so I've gone to my Gmail account as the parent, and they will receive something from Canvas by Instructure. It'll say Forgot Password, so they'll click on that, and then it'll say here, you requested a confirmation of your password. Click here to set a new password. So they'll click there, and then it'll take them to Canvas and ask them to set a new password. So it's taking just a minute. So they'll type in whatever they want as their password here, and then they will confirm their password and click Update Password. So it would be wise for them to go ahead and choose the same password they're using for Skyward so that they don't have to remember multiple passwords, but technically they are able to pick whatever password they want. So once they update their password, then they can go back to Canvas. So I'll just close this window for a minute. And then now they can type in their entire Skyward Family Access email address as their username. So it's the entire email address there. Sometimes parents get confused and type just the beginning part. So it's the entire email address is their Canvas username, and their password is going to be whatever password they picked to log in to the system. And from then on, all they do is log in this way with their Skyward Family Access email address and whatever password they had initially picked. If they ever forget their password again, they can use that Forgot Password link to set a new password. Any questions about just the logging in portion? Okay, great. So the next part of it I want to show you is a quick overview of what parents see in Canvas. So I'm going to log in as a parent account. And let me pull that over on, oops, I think I logged out. Access the parent account. All right, here we go. Okay, here is an example parent account. So when parents log into Canvas, they see, just like teachers do and everyone else that has access to Canvas, they land on their dashboard. They will see course cards for all the courses that their child is enrolled in. Okay, so if the child obviously is going to be enrolled in multiple courses, then they'll have multiple course cards on the dashboard. If they have more than one child in the district, then they'll have courses for all those children on their dashboard. The dashboard only displays, I think, about 20 courses. So if there's a course that they cannot see on the dashboard, they can always click on this courses button on the left-hand side and go down to all courses. There's a link that says all courses, and it pulls up all the courses that they have access to. So if they're not seeing it on the dashboard, you can prompt them to go to courses, all courses, to locate the course. On the all courses page, they could also choose to favorite or star certain courses. If they start starring courses, then the starred courses are the only ones that are going to appear on their dashboard and the only ones that will appear in this course quick list that they can get to. So if they ask about how do I know if a certain course is for a certain student, one tip for that would be the grade level. So at the secondary level, the grade level usually shows at the beginning. For the elementary level, it'll usually say something like science grade 5 or social studies grade 5 so that they can know which class comes for which student. Another thing to notice on this all courses screen, it shows what term the class is in, and it shows that the parent's enrolled as an observer, which means they'll have a view-only access to the course materials as well as just their child's activity within the course. If a parent comes across this and sees, for example, published, and they see a course that says no, that means that teacher has not published that course yet, and that's why they can't click on it to access the course. Okay, so that's the all courses area. I'm going to go back to the dashboard for a minute. Another thing that might be helpful to parents if they're having a hard time differentiating which of their children's classes, which one, they could give a nickname to these courses without it impacting the teacher's course. So parents can click on these 3 dots on the side of the course card and title the course card something like Monica's activity periods, that they know that that's for that specific child's course. So if they want to give a nickname, they can. They can also change the color coding on the cards. Unless the card has a fun little graphic on it, then they can't do that. But I don't think so, at least. They possibly could. I haven't tried. Let me try it. Yeah, if there's a course card image, then they cannot remove that. It comes with this little overlay on top of the images. If that bothers anyone, they can click on the 3 dots at the top next to the search box, and they can remove that color overlay. That's also common with students and teachers, so once we show that, everyone's like, oh, I was wondering how to get that off. So that's just another tip there. They could click view grades to view student grades if they want to, and kind of get an overview of grades. And that again was on the dashboard. They also have access to their account settings just like teachers and students do. They can add a profile. They can add a profile picture if they want. If they click on their account settings, the settings link, they can come in here and there's an underneath settings at the bottom, there's an option that says observing. They could click here just to verify that they're able to observe all the children that are tied to them in the district. This should be done automatically. They will not need to use this pairing code because this part should be done automatically. And if it's not showing a particular child, then you as the parent support representative can contact me and I'll look into why it's not working for that specific parent or why they're not linked to all their children. Another thing they have under their account is notifications. So this is very similar to what teachers and students have, where they can change their notification settings. This is the key at the top that shows how often the notifications are received. Going down along the left side, these are the types of notifications they can receive. If they aren't sure what those mean, they can hover over them and it'll show them details about that specific notification, and then they can select the notification type they want here on the right side. Whatever is in green is what stays as their selection. So there's no save button for them on this screen. All right, so those are the account settings. We talked about the dashboard. We talked about courses. They could flip through courses quickly this way. They also have access to the calendar. So if they click on calendar, this is a master calendar that shows them the events of the different courses. If you look on the right side of the screen, parents have to have the courses turned on with a specific color in order to view the events for that course on the calendar. So this is how they can filter and look at different courses. They can have up to 10 courses. I think it is 10 or 12. I think it's 10 courses on at any particular time. So if they have more than 10 courses in here, they won't be able to turn them all on. So they could turn a certain one off and turn another one back on. So you can see here, if I click here, that turned off one of my courses. But if they want to view just one course, for example, just to focus on that course, they could leave the events for that course on, which that one doesn't have many. So let me see if I can find one that has some. There we go. So that they could filter through the courses that way. At the top, they can get back to today quickly. They can navigate through the different months. They can change their calendar to a week, month, or agenda view. So they've got different options there. They also even have their own calendar. Not sure they'd want to use a Canvas calendar to keep up with all their events, but they might that they could utilize. So they also have the inbox feature here on the left. So if they click on inbox, then they can send the teacher messages and receive messages from the teacher. They could click on compose. They can select the course for that the teacher that they would like to message. They could click on the address button and go to teachers and say, oh, I want to send a message to this teacher. They could put in a subject and the message, and it'll send that message to that teacher. They have a search option where they can search their Canvas courses by keyword, and then they have a help option. All they have under help is really to search the Canvas guides, which will take them to the Canvas guides where they can look up how to use Canvas as a parent. But those are the basics that they have. Any questions about what a parent sees in Canvas and how to navigate around it? Okay, great. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop acting as user here, and we're going to pull up the last part of the presentation. So this part of the presentation, I want to show you how you can check their Skyward Family Access email address, because sometimes they're trying to log in, but they're using the incorrect email address or one that's not registered in Skyward, so that they're not getting access. So the first thing I usually do if I come across a parent question is check their Skyward Family Access email address to make sure they're using the correct one. There's two ways to find this depending on the level of permissions you have in Skyward. So if you have office level permissions, there's one way you can go in to find this information. If you're a teacher, then there's another way you can go in. So I'll show you both ways. So technically teachers do have the ability to check this information as well. Okay, this is from the office perspective. If you have a more global view of Skyward or you have global permissions, when you log into Skyward, next to the home button, you'll have a drop down and you'll have an option that says student management. You can click on that. And remember, I'm going to send you this presentation so you'll have the steps after the webinar. Once you do that, if you have access to multiple campuses, you would have to select your campus from the top there. Some campuses might just take them straight into their entity. So just in case, I wanted to show you that option. So you select the campus if it's not already selected, and then you click on students, and then you click on student profile, and then you're going to come to this area next to the word student. There's a purple box here. You would type in the student's ID and it should pull up the student right here, and then you'll just click on this little pop-up that comes up and select the student. Once the student is selected, there will be an info button, the little small blue eye there that you can click on, and then it takes you to the student information page in Skyward. So what you're looking for is towards the bottom of the student information page, it'll say family 1. Sometimes they even have a family 2 on there, and then they'll have email addresses associated with Family 1 or Family 2. So those are the email addresses that are used by Canvas to create the Canvas accounts. With teachers, they can look it up as well. So when they log into Skyward, under their teacher access button, they can click on My Students. They'll see a list of their students. If they click on the student's last name, it'll pull up that same information screen that we saw on the office side that can be pulled up. So that's how to check their Skyward Family Access email address. Any questions about that?
We'll see you later.
Okay. Great. Smiley face. She's like, how else do I respond? All right. So just to end this, I want to give you a couple quick tips. Remind parents that Canvas does not replace Skyward. So Skyward is still our official grade book. That's where they should be going to check official student grades. There may be grades in Canvas because teachers might be grading some activities in Canvas, but really the official grades of record are in Skyward. So that's what they should reference for grades. Another real quick tip is to stay super positive. So sometimes parents can get frustrated, and that's understandable if they can't log into Canvas or they're having an issue. So try not to get sucked into a, yeah, I know, I'm hearing that a lot too, I don't understand either, don't know why this is happening. But try to give more of a safe response, like, we understand your frustration. Canvas is a great tool for communication and something that is going to help you keep track of your child's online learning experiences. We're working together to help provide you the support you need as soon as possible. Thank you for your patience. So just always try to stay very positive, because Canvas is a really good tool. But of course, with technology, we sometimes have some issues that we need to work through. But we've always been able to help resolve and those issues and help those parents. Another last quick tip we want to offer is to consider offering a campus Canvas parent training on your campus. There are a couple of campuses that have done that, like Lehman Junior High. They set up a parent night where they had their parents come in, and they actually played the videos that were on that page and walks parents through how to access their account. So you could also consider doing something like that on your campus to help the parents. And that's basically it. Do you have any other questions that I can help you with while we're connected? Yes, I will send you a copy of this PowerPoint presentation. I've recorded the webinar, so I'll send you a link to that. And I will also send you the Canvas parent letters that we sent out in English and Spanish, so that you'll have access to those as well. All right, thank you, Stacy. I appreciate your time. I know that you said you have some children in the room, so I extra appreciate that. And you have a great day too. Thanks so much for coming. Bye.